can't even change it. Now you can change the different bits. You can go from a snaffle, a full ring snaffle to a half ring snaffle, or a full ring ball correction to a half ring ball correction. I like the half rings better than I do the full rings. And the reason why is if you look at the bit, where that lariat rope comes down, that bit attaches. Now, on the half rings, the bit's probably 2 to 3 inches in front of that lariat rope. On the full rings, the bit goes straight across the lariat rope. So the difference is how much break in the pole you're going to have. That's the only difference between those two bits. If I got the half ring, the bit's in front of the lariat rope by about 2 to 3 inches, so it'll make the horse break at the pole more. If you get the full ring, then the horse, it's a little less severe, but what happens is the horse won't break at the pole as easy. So it'll guide, it'll still do the same guide, but it won't break at the pole as easy.
Josh, could you put a link for people where they can buy that bit inside the training, like in that bit's video? Let's put a link for people so that they can.
The easiest place to buy it, just joshlyons.com.
Oh, you sell it? Okay. Oh, we didn't realize that. Do you sell the half and the full? Can they make a choice?
You can make any one you want. Half full, ballpoint correction. I have a hard time. He's always back ordered a lot, so I order a bunch ahead of time if I have them.
Cool. All right.
If you go to Jim Edwards, you can order them too. You might not be able to. I think he might have sold those rights to State Line.
Okay. Anyway, they can buy them from your So they just need to go to the training and they click on TAC and Bookshop and they're in and they can buy them there.
Yes, they're in there.
Thank you.
But yeah, I say they're a little different to ride, but you're really gonna like them. As far as the guide, if anybody's working on that guide video, you couldn't go wrong using it. It's the easiest one to use for it, and you're gonna see the best results from it.
Okay, I see Libby's got a question. Libby Webb.
Where's Libby?
Libby,
hey. I can't hear anything. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Josh.
Yes.
I just really wanted to come in real quick to say hi. I'm friend of Jeannie Kirby's. I'm the one that's got Paisley.
Yes. How you doing?
And I'm afraid I've probably broken Paisley.
No, how is Paisley doing?
Fat and grumpy. She is the queen of the mare stare. Everybody loves Paisley. She's the best kid's horse. I've loaned her 2 or 3 times to a friend for a lesson horse when I've had surgeries, and she's the bomb. I mean, yes. She takes care of my old broken down fat butt, and she's just awesome. But bless her heart.
She was a great horse. She was fun to train.
She is a hoot now. But Jeannie's, bless her heart, she's moved to Oregon. Of all things. But anyway, I'm afraid that I have let Paisley slip in her lope.
Okay.
And part of that's because of my health issues. But she is really rough on her left leg. It's really sticky. So is there any kind of something maybe I can do to unstick that left lead?
Yes. It'd be nice if I could see her lope. Sometimes a big difference. It could be just a shoeing issue or a breakover point on the front. But if I have a horse really rough, like a lot of gate horses that come in that don't really know how to lope or keep throwing their hips out, then I'll use Cavaletti poles.
Right.
Wagon wheels and stuff like that to make her start picking up her feet.
Yeah. Well, part of the problem is I've had several surgeries recently, and so she's really not in shape. Now, if she's in shape, she lopes better. But if she's not in shape, she will beat you to death, which is not good on back issues with me.
Well, round is a shape.
I'm going to listen to this.
Yeah, she is definitely round.
I can learn something.
Well, let me ask you this. There's 2 things you're working here. One is we want to fix that lope, but if we're having health issues or physical issues, do you need it?
The lope? Yeah. No, man. I show her lightly, but we kill it in the walk jog classes.
Right. So, and it's only on the left lead, right?
Yes, her left lead is really sticky, and her right lead she'll pick it up all day. Even in the realm pen, she'll miss that left lead and she'll crossfire.
Okay. So okay. So as you're loping the left, she's just dropping her hind lead all the time.
Yeah, she's just being lazy. She
Yeah,
is fat lazy. If anybody doesn't know, Paisley went through the Josh's certification program probably 14 years ago or 15 years ago. She's 17 now.
Yeah, it was a ways. I broke her out when she was 2. It was a ways.
And I'm gonna tell you something. But she's a godsend. That horse is the reason why I'm still riding. I've had a couple of bad wrecks, and she is the reason why I'm still riding to this day. I wouldn't. Money couldn't buy that horse.
Oh, that makes me happy. That's
yeah,
a good thing.
I'm telling you, she is absolutely unbelievable. But anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go. I've got to go and take care of some stuff. I just wanted to drop in and say hi and see if I could get a pointer. But I'll work her on some Cavaletti poles.
Ed, do me a favor. Take a little video of her loping and send it to me, will you?
I'll get somebody else that can sit that rough line.
All right. Send it to me.
All right.
I better help out more when I see it. But I guarantee the Cavaletti poles, what you got to do is just strengthen her hip back up. She just sounds weak in the hip and she keeps dropping lead. It's the same thing as like working out. If I only work out one side, it'll overdevelop.
Yeah. Well, I know she's getting a little arthritis. She's a little old, but she doesn't have to do. Her main job in life is not kill me, and she does that well.
Oh, sounds good.
All right. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. We have another question, Kate.
I don't see any at the moment. Do you want to take those people that aren't yet members into the membership area so they can have a look around?
Yeah. Are you going to do that?
Oh, I thought you would do that.
I don't have a clue how to do it.
I love that. I will do it. I will. Here we go. Let me.
And we haven't heard about Mike yet. Mike's a teacher. I'm pretty excited. I want to hear what he thinks of the courses yet. How far have you seen him, Mike?
Well, it took me a while to watch that first video. I just thought, okay. That one that was, an hour and something?
Oh, yeah, that was a demonstration.
Yeah. So it took a while to get through that. So right now I'm just on the guide give, and I think I just got to the frame. Yeah. But I was looking through everything, and I really like the way it's laid out. There's a lot of really cool stuff in there.
Oh, that's dynamite.
Right, so let's have a look where Mike says he is. So Mike's come into here. Now that first long video, that's the only long video on there. So just note that it is an hour and a half. It is long, but we put it on there because it's just great. It's just
Kate, we lost your sound, right? I lost it.
I think her internet it's cut out. I've watched it all, and I'm watching parts the second and third times. It's fabulous. So everyone get it because it's just fabulous.
I was going to say it's long, and I kept getting interrupted at work. I was trying to watch it, and the phone kept ringing. People wanted me to work rather than watch the video. It's a lot of great information in there.
Oh, yeah, that was we're doing a charity thing for charity, just a demonstration. So we went over and did that. So I didn't know what I was doing, what I was going to do it on. And so we went over there, and then Kate was there, and she filmed the whole thing and put it up. So it's going to be a lot of questions, different things that people were asking. And and I think I used Little Joe or Voodoo. I can't remember which one I used. But it was fun.
Stephanie's horse, Voodoo.
Voodoo.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Okay. So yeah, that was in the very first category. And then you come into here, into the foundations, where, and we've talked also this morning a little bit about the guide and the give and the elevation and frame. So these videos are much shorter, you'll see. So don't worry, Mike, you won't have long ones forever. So what we've tried to do here is make them bite-sized. So this one's only 4 minutes long, the give. You can come out and you can do that and then come and learn something else and go and do that. So you can see all of them here as well, and then you can move on to the next category. So we go back to categories. Those are the essentials, which is what we started with. So we've got the 5 foundations and then the 5 releases. So after that, you move on. And this section here, this module here, is Josh actually breaking out this young horse and having the first 3 rides on the horse as well. So for this, you see everything that this horse did and Josh did with this horse. It's really interesting. And it shows you absolutely everything. This horse has had very little work before this, had it, Josh?
It had no work.
Yeah.
Wasn't no bridle, no work,
Yeah.
no tying up, nothing.
Yeah, so it's really very interesting, and you can see all of that. And for each, for each section, there's the video. That one's 8 minutes long, and you'll get notes as well, because I know we all learn slightly differently. This is a great place to put comments. So if you've got a question here, you put your just write your questions down there. When the horse did X, Y, and Z, how did you react to that? What did you think? Or whatever your question might be, put it here, because Josh will answer it right there. And it means that anyone else who has that question will get the benefit of his answer, which is great. So that's the breaking out the young horse category. Then move on to serpentines. And any of you that have ever done some work with Josh know just how important serpentines are. So he's explaining the importance of serpentines at first, and then he works with different students, which I think is really helpful, because it gets you to be able to see mistakes that people make. And these might be the mistakes you make yourself. So you've got 4 lessons there where Josh corrects the students and tells them why they're doing it wrong and how they could improve the lesson and so forth. So that's all, again, really helpful stuff for when you come to do serpentines. The shoulder work, again, we have the same principles here. Josh explains it and shows you, how to do it, how it looks really good, of course, because he's riding Stephanie's horse or the other one. I don't know, they're twins, these horses. I can never tell the difference. And then he's got a tutorial here where he's correcting the student, and you get all of that really useful stuff as well. But again, these lessons aren't hugely long. You're not going to get bogged down in any of this stuff. They're bite-sized. It's really important that you guys are successful with this training. That's the whole idea, is that, Josh is coming to you, and the more successful you are, the better it is for everybody. So please bear that in mind when you're watching it. So let's say you're watching this one, the outside horse video, and you come along, you watch, it's only 5 minutes long, and you think, oh, okay, but I don't quite understand this. That's really important that you don't understand that, because we want to know that, and ask your question here. Josh can answer it, make it more simple for you, or just explain it slightly differently. Sometimes it just takes it's a matter of explaining something slightly differently. Perhaps your horse is behaving a bit differently from the horse in the tutorial, or Josh's horse. I know my horse behaves very differently from Josh's horse. Which horse is that, Josh?
Voodoo.
Voodoo. Yeah.
All I can tell is if you look at the left hind foot, if there's no white, it's Voodoo.
Okay, I'll remember that.
If there's white, it's Little Joe.
Okay, and we go into gear work. Now, again, when Josh explains this gear work, you can see we talked about this. Should we have all the poles out? Because you need quite a lot of poles if you set out your pattern the same way Josh does. And, perhaps everyone doesn't have the poles. Perhaps everyone doesn't have that many poles. How many do you, 1, 2, 3, 4, is it 12 poles or more? It doesn't matter. You don't have to have the poles. If you've got the poles, great. If you don't have the poles, do the lesson. We're going to show you the pattern, exactly how the pattern works and exactly why these circles change in size. And it's all set out there exactly the way Josh would do it. And then the second video here, again, is a tutorial. We get a student doing exactly the same gear work, and Josh talks the students through that. Speed control and rider position is the final module. Now, I want you to understand as well that, you know, over this next year, as foundation members, and you guys that are here at this meeting and, you know, early adopters of this material, you're going to be able to help shape it for the following year. That's what I've done with my online course. It's been open for just a year now, and we've met every week, and every week people have said, right, love this, but we need X, Y, and Z. I said, oh, righto. And I've made those modules. So, you know, we've added hindquarter control, we've added flying changes, we've added all sorts of things to my training. And that's what we're going to do with this training as well. It's already very comprehensive, but you guys might say, okay, I also need this, or this would be really useful to have. And this first year is when we're going to do that. So if you want input into this training, join up now if you haven't already, so that you can get that input.
I got a new thing too. When I was in China, Kate,
yeah,
when I was walking around the Great Wall and those things, they had all these translators, not translators, guides.
Yeah.
And they had this thing you could put on wear it over your neck like a necklace, and an earpiece. It would help translate, and if they got far away, you could still hear them. So we started looking at those things, and I think I found out a way. So a couple times, maybe once a month, I'm gonna do this lesson or this meeting on horseback. So I got figured out how I can get it hooked to the computer and the mic system we bought over there that'll work for this. So maybe once a month, and what we'll do is I'll be on horse, and I can go through those questions and go through those lessons, which will make it even easier.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great. The other thing, the final thing here, I wanted to have a look at. You do have the entire training manual right here, which you can download or just look at on your computer. It's a big it's a big file, but also the training app, so that you can take all that training and just use it on your phone. So you just need to click there, and then you download that either for your whatever sort of smartphone or mobile device you have. Yeah.
Stephanie, is it cold and up there? I see a fire going.
Oh, there.
There you go.
It's raining. Imagine in Seattle.
It's raining in Seattle?
Yeah. Kate, I have to tell you, my favorite part, I'm a little biased, but I like the horse that Josh is riding in the video. So far, that's my favorite part.
Yeah, I think we all do. Yeah, he was lucky he didn't get stolen and taken back to Australia. That was
I know. When I left to China, I had to workers here. I told them, Evelyn's here, and I said, listen, I wanted to walk, trot. I gave a couple lessons I needed to work on just to keep the horses legged up. And looked over, and she's riding, and it was addicting. I was like, no, just 20 minutes, just leg them up. But yeah, he's a cool horse. He's gonna be good. I'm excited to show him next year, and we're getting ready now. Show season starts in January. It'll take off full in March, so we're gonna get some videos. We'll share the link and stuff of the horse showing for sure.
Oh, good. Could you get some prep videos? Let's put a module in, Josh, that shows you how to prep the horse for show as well.
Oh,
so
sure.
all of that sort of, yeah.
That's such a cool lesson to learn, because every horse, when I show it, they show a little differently. And what I mean by that is, like, some horses, when I first saddle them up, they're right on point. That's when they ride the best, right? So they work the best in the first part of the lesson. So if you think about your horse, does he ride the best in the beginning, the middle, or the end of the lesson? And every horse rides a little different. So I know if I got this horse and like little Joe rides the best in the middle, right? Beginning to middle, but Voodoo rides better at the end. So my warm up for Voodoo has to be longer before I show that horse. But little Joe, if I warm him up too much, he doesn't show very good. So that'll be neat to go through that and learn, because that's just learning how to read the horse and knowing where he's going to show the best at.
Yeah. And also, I think people would be interested in seeing your sort of, physical, just the beauty of the horse. Your horses, whenever I saw them, they come in seemingly from the paddock looking shiny enough to see your reflection in, and all the little manes are plaited with little condoms on them and everything. It's like really cute. And I think that people would be interested in it. I've never seen one of your horse's tails, for example. They're always plaited into something. I think that would make a very interesting module to pop in the resources section. How you do that? How do you keep your horses looking like that? Maybe some of it's feed. Let's hear about that. Yeah, can we do that?
Oh yeah, we can do that for sure. It's a definitely when they're showing horses and you're showing them, and they there's two parts. They gotta be able to ride well, but they also gotta look the part. It's two parts there. So yeah, we do a lot trying to make sure they look good as far as the lights and how to make the hair grow, what products to use.
Yeah, sure, good. Yeah, great. That'll be really interesting.
Big Mike smiling over there, he knows. So what was everybody's favorite part of the program so far? Ooh, not a lot of answers real quick on that one.
What was the question again?
What was everybody's favorite part of the online school so far? Part they liked the most?
I'll go ahead and go. And I haven't gone through a lot of it, but just from what I've seen, the way you've broken it down. Again, once you got through that big video and watched everything, I mean, at the end, you just, through the whole thing, it just refreshers of things you forgot. But then I just got into the guide, give, frame part of it, and it's broken down into small pieces. And I really like that you can go ahead and, just take the guide now and rework it, and then go until you got it locked on, and then move to the frame, and then go back and forth as you need. But I like the way that it's broken down. And then I was playing today too with the bullet points that you have, just to put something together in a binder to take that with you, just to review. So like Kate was saying, when you go to wherever you're working, that you can take that and then just take a quick glance. With the app, I like the app. I'm playing with it. I'd like to learn how to use that a little better, to be able to scroll or find the videos that you need. It seems like you have to go one at a time where I'm at with it now, rather than with a total like outline, so that you just, if I'm jumping from guide, give, frame to, thought, give, and, response to a different lesson or a serpentine, you know what I mean? Just
so we could work on that, fix that. So you're just having a hard time seeing them all and be able to click it. You feel like you're stuck going one to one?
Yeah, it's making me go through one at a time. Okay. And I'd like to see an outline of like where I'd want to go. And, again, I'm just starting into it, but I know at some point, might be working on 2 or 3 different things wherever I'm at, and to be able to just look at that, bring it up and show somebody and say, here, look at this. And then we're going to work on this a little bit.
We can fix it. Yeah, we'll fix that. Because it does. You need to be able to just go through all of them and scroll down and be able to select the one you want.
Yeah, and there may be a way to do that already. I just downloaded it today and just played with it for really seconds was all. So
I've watched the whole thing, Josh, and as I said, I'm coming back and watching parts again. I love the 5 first videos. You know, the guide, give, frame, elevation, position, because everything after that comes back to that. So if you're having a problem, as you said, if you're having a problem with give, go back to the guide. And I'm doing guide, and it's just totally changing my horse and my riding. And you know, I think, how have I been riding all these years? You know? But no, I love that. And each section builds on the previous. So if you're having trouble with one section, you go back to the earlier one. It's a logical sequence. And I like that you explain it all. I love your stories and your analogies, because I'm an analogy person. So no, fabulous, loving it.
Oh, great. Yeah, we were. It was hard even giving clinics. You know, when you give too much too fast. Even if I explained all that and I did in one video, the problem is they're only thinking about the last thing I said, not the first part. So we broke it way down. And said, okay, we're only going to give you one section. You fix that, and then you go to the next section. But if I tell you what both sections are, everybody automatically tries to get to the second section, and they don't follow that long enough. So that's one reason why those videos are so short. They're broken down to say, listen, you're going to work on just this piece. And that's a hard part in training, because we all have these goals where we want to get to the end. So we try to jump to the end instead of go through the sequence.
And the stallions you're riding aren't too bad on the eyes either.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about them. They're going to be great to show next year. Really wanted to show this year. I was really kind of excited I was out of the country during the 30. I didn't think about that much. Kate, you look like you're in deep thought down there. She's playing with the app, I guarantee it. Yeah. Is that what you're doing? Yes. She's already trying to fix it.
Yeah. I sort of overheard that that Mike was having a bit of a problem with the app, and I was trying to work out why that was. Because I think that it should have a menu there for you, Mike.
Maybe it does. Just show me where it is.
Top right hand corner. If you put your scroll up. Top right hand corner, maybe.
I've got so much junk on my phone that I can't find it, so I have to go the long way through the app store, but I'm getting there. It's not like, Mike, we didn't make this app. I'd like to say, you know, Josh and I sat down and developed an app. We did not do that. The platform that the course is hosted on made the app. So I've actually had somebody write to me about it this morning, saying that they can't get it to work on their phone. But it has got excellent reviews. So I'm not convinced that there is a problem with it. My internet is so sorry. I live out in the sticks in the middle of nowhere in Australia, but it is next to a very nice beach I can ride my horse on. So there are some advantages. The internet is not one of them. Yeah, so I should just let this.
Yeah, Mike's got it up somewhere.
Oh, good on you, Mike.
Mike,
Yeah,
if you go,
I don't know
sorry.
I don't know if you can see that or not, but it says go ahead and resume. And when I go into the videos, it'll resume where I left off. But then to scroll ahead, you just have one arrow to go one at a time. So I hit resume, and it says complete lesson. And then on each side, it allows me to just scroll one at a time. But I haven't found a place yet that gives you an outline. Like if I just want to go to the serpentine, or if I want to go back to the standard guide give, or maybe go on to mark training or something like that.
I got an analogy for you, Robin, so I know what it is now. The app's running on VHS format. You have to rewind forward, back and forward to get to it. It's not CD now. You go click, 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 click. It's VHS. Got it.
That's a great one. Mike, if you go up to the top, the very, very top hand corner at the back arrow, that should eventually take you back to the main menu. Maybe. And then press the Josh Lyons insignia thing there. That should take you to the main menu.
So now, Mike, scroll down.
Yep.
You should be able to scroll down like this.
Scroll down.
And then you can click any video that you want.
Yeah.
Did that work?
Yeah, again.
Got it now. Good job, man.
There you go. Good.
Thank you.
The other good thing about that app is that any course that you have that is on the Kajabi platform shows up here. So if you own my Can Do course, that shows up here as well. And anything else that you own, Kajabi, which is the platform Josh's course is built on, have a lot of courses. I was quite surprised when I first signed into the app. It was quite new, just how many Kajabi courses I had. It's quite handy having them all here. There you are. Good. So, no other questions then? Oh my goodness, we're going to make a 1 hour meeting, except Beverly's ruining it for us. All right, Beverly.
Let me unmute here. I have a question about horse behavior.
Okay.
I bought a 9-year-old mare about 6 months ago, and she seemed very quiet when I bought her. And then she started to change a bit. And I have been working in Kate's program for 6 months with her, doing give to the bit, long lining, and reverse arc. And she's doing really well inside my paddock. But I've started taking her outside the paddock, doing the same thing, walking along the fence. And she gets to a certain point and she starts to get outside the bubble, and she starts to look. I have a little forest at the end of my property. And she starts to look into the forest looking for bears or whatever is going to come out and get her. And so what I do is I turn her around and retreat a little bit and take her back. And then I wait until her head drops a little and I bring her back, and she seems fine. But the closer I get to the forest, the more I see her anxiety come up. And I stop when I see it. And what happens is she seems okay, but all of a sudden she jumps up in the air and she runs off and tries to rip the line. I've got her on I've tried the 12-foot, but I can't hold her very well. So I put her on the 22-foot, and he rips it, tries to rip it out of my hand. And I back myself up to the fence to hang on to her. And so she turns into the fence, and that stops her. And then I send her back to the other side to turn into the fence again. So that stops her, because if she started running, I couldn't hold her. She's small.
So you're on a long line with a halter, right? You're leading the horse.
I have tried long lining, and I also have.
No. I mean, I'm just asking. You're on a long halter.
Oh yes, I'm on a long
halter.
Yeah, it's a long. It's a halter. Well, actually, it's the bitless bridle. I'm using the bitless bridle with her,
mm-hmm.
And she's been doing wonderful in it. And she's very soft and giving inside her paddock, but once I get out, she just turns into a different.
Picture this: if my kids, they behave really well in their room,
and
I take them to the bump and jump. They don't behave like they did in the room. Right? More distractions, more things to look at, how you fix it is when I'm in the room, I work harder. They got to pick their emotions up. You can't they can work real quiet and nice, but when you start putting distractions out there, they're going to start losing their attention and start focusing on everything else. So when I'm in the arena, I work harder than I do when I'm outside. Outside is going to be more of a relaxed break, right? So you have to pick the emotions up more when you're in the arena. When you bring that level of distraction out there, then you have to work at that level of emotion. And to do that, you have to do that in the arena and replace it with speed. Because speed is emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of up and down transitions. When the horse comes out in the arena, he just starts working great. Well, we don't push. We don't push because we don't want to make a mess. So we don't want it to pick those emotions up and make him excited. But then what happens is when we take that horse out of the arena, those emotions come out from those distractions, and then all of a sudden we start losing control. So my suggestion right off the bat is when you're in that arena, you got to work a little harder, pick the emotions up, bringing them down. And then you go outside, as a test. Don't go work outside, go outside as a test. And if they fail the test, you go back to the arena and you make sure you pick up the emotions. But again, you got to pick them up enough that it's the same level of emotion that you're dealing with outside. So when she's excited and she runs and tries to jerk the rope out of your hand, that level of emotion is a level of emotion she needs to have in your arena. And
the other thing is that you were saying, Beth, is you talked about the bubble, and I talk a lot about having this bubble of communication, which I call the engagement zone. Having the horse with you when you're talking, and you say it's okay in the paddock, and she's okay for a little while, and then when you get too close to the bears, she freaks out. So it's what's happening is your bubble is getting weaker and weaker and weaker the further you get from her paddock. So you can start by building that bubble and increasing her emotional level, first inside, as Josh is saying, inside the paddock, and then close to the paddock, and then a little further away. But you have to keep raising it and then offering her the opportunity to relax as you move further away. It's really hard to take her from where she's completely relaxed and okay with everything to the bears. Yeah, give her the chance to build that and stay with that bubble and keep that strong by increasing and lowering the emotional level as you go along and get closer to the scary thing. Because you can't stop her being scared, but you can help her when she is scared by showing her that if she just looks to you for comfort and to understand you've got pressure release there. You're going to ask her to do something, she's going to respond, you're going to release, you're going to reward her. Brilliant, That's what builds your bubble. At the moment, what's happening is you're getting this close to the woods and your bubble's bursting. You're lost. She's on her own. She's freaking out. You need to build that, make her strong, make her feel confident all the way out there as you get closer. Oh my gosh.
Same thing is when you're out there, when you're walking out, you can't ever be upset with the choice the horse makes if I'm not asking to do anything. So if I'm leading that horse and I'm waiting for him to make that mistake, I know he's going to get excited, especially when he gets closer and closer to those trees. I know he's going to get excited, and then all of a sudden he makes a mistake and I got to correct him. I can't be upset with him making a mistake if I wasn't asking to do something. So there's one leader, one follower. If you let him think about all the things out there that are bothering him, then you're letting him put attention on that. Put him to work before you get there. Work, do something, change directions. Even work on serpentines on the ground when you're going all the way out there, all the way back, all the way out there, all the way back. Work on changing. So ask the horse to do something. Don't wait for him to make a mistake and then correct him. Ask him to do something. Then as I get out there, once I get to the fence or the tree line or the bears, then I'll let the horse stop and stand still. But I don't want him to try to hold his composure. I want to work him until
Won't let me.
I know he's going to stand still, and then I'll let him
I
stand
don't
still.
know how to do it.
Right.
But if I wait, it's like leading that horse, and I can tell the horse is going to spook at the bucket.
Yeah.
I wait until all of a sudden he spooks at the bucket, then I correct the horse. Well, now I'm becoming reactive. I'm reacting to what the horse is doing, not becoming active.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you're going to use a side pull or a halter or a bit. It's that when I'm going out there to work, that that the more nervous, the more excited that horse is, the harder I'm working. So when I go outside or I go trail riding, or it's a test. It's a test to see if the work I've done in the arena is going to hold. And if it doesn't, I can still fix it out there, or I can go back to that arena. And that tells me I got to pick the emotions up. I got to work harder in that arena. So when I go back out there, that when he gets excited, I still taught him to keep his emotions controlled. I can't tell the horse don't ever get excited. But I can say when you do get excited, still respond this way. So I'm not ever worrying about trying to tell the horse, don't ever get excited, don't get nervous, don't get scared. But when you do, still respond in a certain way.
Yeah.
You know, and I've had to do a lot of that with the stallions and the reiners, because every show pin's different. I walk into a different state, different arena, and they got different decorations up and stuff like that. So they got to lock on instantly. And the only way to do that is I can't get them used to that arena. I got to teach them to control their emotions. And I do that by doing a lot of gear work and speed, by working them at a higher level of emotion and bringing them back down.
Okay,
Josh,
good.
you've got a couple of questions on the chat there. Does your program start with groundwork? From Linda. Linda's asking, does your program start with groundwork? And then Laura has also asked you a question. Can you see the chat? Okay. So I'll relay it to you. Linda is asking, does your program start with groundwork?
Yes and no. Which means I can do as little groundwork as I want. They're all exercises that are important, but I don't need them for certain things. So if I got a reiner, my main focus is the riding work to fix that horse. And the better is the more riding I do, the quieter his ground manners become. They affect each other. So I can 100% start on the ground and do all that work. And that's not necessarily for the horse. That's for me to build my confidence, to build some type of training program with this horse that I feel safe enough riding him. Or I can start on the back and fix it on the back, and then slowly add ground exercises throughout his program when I see fit. So if I having a hard time catching the horse, I might be riding the horse for 6 months, but I'm having a hard time catching him. And I'll come back and I'll teach the turn face EQ or the come to EQ. That becomes extra. So I don't have to teach that first. I come back and I fix problems as they occur. So it depends on the groundwork. It depends on where the rider's at, is where my program starts. So it's not necessarily for the horse. It's for where the rider's at. And that rider, some riders might need a lot of groundwork at first just to build their confidence and build that kind of relationship where they understand the training and they got that horse in the habit of saying yes, so that they can build and go from there. Some riders just want to start straight on the back. It just depends on where the rider's at.
So I think, Linda, in answer to your questions, we were just saying earlier, the first year of this course is to help people like you, if you feel you need more groundwork, to build the course like that. So let's say, you had a problem like Bev has, that, she's finding that the horse is scared of the bears in the woods. Well, and you don't want to get on the horse, and that's a really good thing to say to Josh. Well, this is what I want to do. Have you got a groundwork exercise that would be useful? I can't catch my horse. How do I teach it turn and face? Anything like that, then let us know, because that's what we'll make.
What we can do, what we need to do, is I'll put about 10 videos of different ground exercises that I'll work on. That'll help. I need to get that done. I'll put a groundwork video, about 10 different exercises, show you guys some different exercises you can do from the ground.
That would be good, Josh. Let's get that on.
We have a bunch of groundwork exercises on there.
Let's get that on quite quickly, and we'll just we'll add the groundwork module now, and then if Linda still finds that there's something else, or anytime there is something else, we might actually keep the groundwork in a separate module so that we can refer to it. If you're having problems with X, Y, and Z, go and do this groundwork exercise. Okay. The other question was
next week. I'll start because I have some time off right now. I'll start a video and some groundwork exercises.
Fantastic. That'd be super. Laura was asking, will there be videos for things like maneuvers and consistency and speed problem behaviors.
Yes.
And they're
Yes, 'cause
already
I
up.
want to start getting spins, stops, rollbacks, different things. I want to start putting. We're going to start putting more up there. What you have right now, the lessons of the online school, is the foundation. Is to help people understand how to train, how to start, where to start, and it's a foundation. So all the extra stuff, the laying down, the bow, the sit, the mark training, the spins, the rollbacks, the lead changes, the passage, the piaffe, the canter pirouette, those exercises are going to go extra. They're going to be more finished type maneuvers.
They come under maneuvers. But consistency and speed is something Laura asked, and yes, that's already in there because your gear work is in there, your outside horse is in there, your the 5 foundations are in there. So yes, problem behaviors are indirectly addressed at the moment. If you have a particular problem behavior, I think we might add to that, and we could group them together. That might be a sensible thing. Yeah.
Oh, we can for sure. Most problems are end up fixing with that foundation. Because again, you're learning how to focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. There are certain problems that you're going to have to address directly, which is like pulling back. That's a problem that we're going to have to put on there directly. That when you're doing the bridle work, it's not necessarily going to fix the pulling back issue or the trail loading. There'll be certain problems that we'll go through and put those in there as far as trail loading, the hard to catch horse, the horse that kicks when you pick up the feet. Those are all different problems that we'll make a video that you have to address directly. But as far as the standing still, that's going to end up being fixed through all the serpentine work and all the other riding work. So a lot of that stuff would be fixed through the foundation work.
Oh, good. And Jan, you have a question, Jan?
Yeah. One thing I'd love to see is a video where you illustrate some of that issue you're talking about, teaching the horse not to spook at the flowers. That might help Bev as well. Kate knows my horse Taz, and he's a very reactive horse, and so for me to try to learn that, that would be good. And it might be helpful to have a video on that if you're teaching one of your younger horses in a situation where they're, feeling scared or something would be good.
Sure, we can do that on I'll show you 2 ways to do that on like a tarp on the ground or something. Because again, it doesn't matter if it's a tarp or a trailer or that. I'll show you from the back and I'll show you from the ground.
Okay.
How to address that. Those would be quick videos I can make.
Wait.
Good.
Okay, you got all these videos you written down?
Yeah.
Okay.
You bet. How many days are you having off?
Till January.
Whoa,
I got enough. I can get this done. We can add a lot of videos now.
Oh, good. All right. Well, we had better wrap this up, I think. Josh, next week's meeting, we're on Wednesday, your time at 5:30, Tennessee.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Is 5:30 work for everybody? We should go a little bit later? Because I know Stephanie, being in Washington, it's 3:30 there, right? So, I mean, is 5:30 work for everybody, or should we go 7:30 and make it a little bit later? Oh yeah, Julie, you're up there too. So, I don't know if people being able to get off work but if we're at 7:30, what's that put you guys? Okay.
Middle of the
No,
day.
that's all right for us. We're 10:30 in the morning now.
So, well, you tell me what time. I'm good eating time. Whatever time's best for everybody's fine with me.
We're still recording, so people can watch the replay of this. But of course, once you close, then we're not going. It's not going to be an open meeting anymore. It'll only be available to people that own the training, obviously. So that might be something worth discussing once you've got your core group of owners. At what time is most suitable for them? Sure. And we'll leave it at this for now, and then come January when it is closed and we no longer have this open meeting, then you can work it out then. Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah. So right now, 5:30 next Wednesday.
Great.
Unless Kate tells me otherwise.
No, she's bossy, that one.
Yeah.
All right, oh, I'm going to say goodbye.
You guys, thank you so much. Very excited about the course. I'm excited to make more videos for you guys, but I can't appreciate or tell you how much I appreciate you guys signing up, and it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time with it.